Another thing he told me was that I would lose everything. At this point, from the neighborhood I lived in when I was younger, we had this this settlement, and I got these payments every month. And during my divorce, my husband was paying on my car for a while. I didn't really want a new car while we were married because I was like, what's gonna happen when we're not together? I don't want a car payment. But he paid on it for a while, and so I decided to cash this in so that I could put that towards the car. And so I cashed that in. It was, I don't know, 10,000, 15,000, somewhere in between. And God was like, you're going to lose everything. You're going to lose your money, you lose your family, your friends, where you're living, your car. And I did. Very quickly, I lost my friends and family. He had me on Facebook posting. At first, it was just this mass of videos, and he wouldn't let me watch them. He would bring me to them and have me post them, and it wouldn't even like post the snapshot of the video. It was just like the code, the link. And I was just like, man, I knew I looked nuts, but you know, God was telling me, do you trust me? Of course you're gonna look crazy. If you trust me, you'll do this. I want you to see what happens. And so I just kept it, I was like, all this stuff there are all these miracles happening around me. God's talking to me. And all these other things are happening. Fine. So I'm just like, whatever, I don't really care. It's fucking Facebook. Who cares, Who cares about Facebook? Apparently a lot of people care about Facebook. So, a lot of people just start sending me messages like, are you okay? And, can you please stop posting this stuff? And I'm just like, cut me off the feed. So a lot of people stop being my friend, and my family's freaking out and stop talking to me, and God's like, I'm just in this high energy thing, and man, there's so much that goes with it, but, God's telling me these things, and I believe what he tells me, and in reality, they are very amplified versions of the truth, but because he knows I'm not going to lie. So, he tells me these things, and of course, I relay and look crazy. But, whatever. I knew it was happening. I know. I trust him. That's all I can say is I trust him. To know. I've seen it all and how crazy it really is. So for me to come across as crazy is so minute in the big scheme of things. It'd be very selfish of me not to do it. So. Oh man. Even had me throw away. I had this stuffed animal of mine that I loved since I was a little girl. I had to get rid of that. But anyway, I keep saying, I guess it's worth it. So there'll probably be a lot of stories coming from those types of things pop up maybe as we go along. Or if there's a topic you want to talk about, I'm sure I have a story for it. So yeah, a couple of things that I've written about outside of the blog that didn't include in the story. God had told me during the second day we were doing more for like the first few weeks after this happened. He had me set an alarm on my phone, so from 6 to 7 every night we had our dance time where we would choose an album and have time together to go over things and just, relax. Get to know each other. And anyway, and so sometimes during that time we would do more memory resolution stuff. And the second day, I remember we were going over some stuff about my dad, and I hadn't spoken to my dad in about 10 years at that point. And just didn't really care to. And God said that God kind of worked through some stuff with me, and kind of got to the point where, can you forgive? And I kind of, for me, it was just, I'd already kind of let it go. I never really, I didn't really lose anything with my dad. I never really had anything to lose. So, it wasn't like, oh, I was totally disappointed by my father because he always was what he was. And so for me, it was just kind of like, live and let live. Like, as long as I don't have to deal with them, I really don't care. And God was like, well, he wanted to kill him. And he's like, it's going to be a slow, painful death. I'm going to kill your dad. And I was just kind of like, whoa, like, no need to get all dramatic about it. But, it just kind of surprised me. But he had, we had talked about the war and stuff, and you're going to be responsible for war. So anyway, then my mom calls about a month after God tells me this, and tells me that my dad has pancreatic cancer and he has a few months to live. And I end up talking to him once. God would take me on these long drives and get me lost and get me back home. But some really cool drives, and we'd do fun stuff where weird things would happen. It was kind of like months of these miracles, and the potency just kind of started to fade out over time. And so anyway, so I talked to my dad for a little while about God and stuff. My dad played guitar. I was just like, keep playing music or whatever. I guess he lived out in the middle of nowhere or something. But anyway, so he lived, I guess, a little under a year. But didn't sound too fun. And died the day after Thanksgiving. So it's something to celebrate. But so anyway, so that happened. There were a couple of other coincidences. Maybe I'll get to other stories. I don't really know how to go about catching up with everything that's happened since then, but I really wanted to get in the big core event that struck me. So yeah, thanks for listening to the story, and I'll probably add stuff on as I think about it and can get grouped together for a quick video. Bye.